For you and your family, function rooms for celebrating with your friends, corporate spaces for meetings and conferences. With special benefits for members, visit us today at the Traralgon Bowls Club. More than just a bowls club.
The Morwell Bowling Club is your place for fun and food. Come and try bowls and make new friends. Have coffee or bring the family for lunch or dinner. The Morwell Bowling Club. Visit us today on Hazelwood Road.
Welcome back, everybody, to day 2 of the Henselite Victorian Open for 2025. This is mixed pairs action, the round of 32. Jack just being rolled, match to get underway right now. My name's Tony Sherwell. Bringing you the match today of Sam Rogers leading for Liv Cartwright. They're up against Andrea Tudorovic and Brett Mahoney. Brett Mahoney, Andrea Tudorovic have just come off a bye, so they'll be nice and fresh. Sam Rogers and Liv Cartwright had a good win in the round of 64. Joining me in commentary this morning, we are very excited to have a special guest, Gary Willis, national coach of the Australian team.
Morning, Tony.
How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, mate, thank you very much for donating a bit of your time. We understand just how busy you are and the sort of role that you do, so we really do appreciate it. And front row seat to watch some very good bowlers here at the Vic Open for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fantastic. We've obviously had a long week here with the Jackaroos. We've been in camp, so we've had the pleasure of being at this wonderful facility at Traralgon Bowls Club. So they've been fantastic hosts and probably know the green fairly well, having watched a lot of bowls go down over the last week myself. But yeah, no, it's a wonderful facility. We were here about 11 years ago, actually, for a Trans-Tasman. It came up in my memory feed on Facebook this morning.
Right.
Yeah,
there you go.
And yeah, this facility or the indoor wasn't here back then, but geez, wow, what a job they've done.
Yeah, it's a terrific facility and a good crowd in today. You'll see in the background of our shots as we head the other direction, you'll see there's a mezzanine level which is pretty much full at the moment, downstairs full as well. So plenty to do, and of course you've been here with the Jackaroos during the week, as you said. Liv Cartwright was invited to that camp, so she will have had a fair stint on this indoor green the last week or so.
Yeah, she certainly did. She was a late call up into the trial, and we had a injury, or Natasha Van Eldik had to go in for surgery on the Tuesday, so we gave Liv the late call up, and she was very excited to get the opportunity and did fantastically well, and played a lot of games on this indoor surface over the last few days. So hopefully that helps her through. Helps her through this match here, and I'm sure she's going to be up against it with some quality opposition. Yeah,
not wrong. Well, Brett Mahoney's played here many times, of course. He's had some strong Vic Opens the last few years and VBL representative for Yarraville Footscray Dogs, so generally always have a series down here at Traralgon, so he will know the greens very well also. In terms of the bowls being used today, Sammy Rogers is using the sort of grey or dark colour with a white speckle. They're an Aero Optima. His skipper, Liv Cartwright, uses the best bowl there is, the Henselite XG. Of course, Henselite proud supporters of the Victorian Open. Their opposing team, Andrea Tudorovic, is using a Green Master Premier, the blue in colour. And Brett Mahoney also uses an Aero Optima in the Footscray colour, although he has switched his bowls to the white and purple. So there's a couple of different sets. So he's gone with the white and purple, which you'll see him on the mat now. This game started just a touch behind the other ones. So the time frame of 2 1/4 on this match, slightly different to each of the other matches. Not by much, only a few minutes late. So 2 different hands on this rink, slightly narrower hand is the hand that Liv Cartwright is on now. The ditch side tends to swoop a little bit more. Unfortunately for Liv, she just promotes Brett Mahoney's bowl.
It's probably just exactly what you said there, Tony. It's a little bit tighter on that side, so Liv's just corrected there and just gone under that line and turned the shot against her.
Brett Mahoney, as most people who watch him a bit will know, his nickname is Pigeon. He races pigeons in his spare time, so nickname is Pidge. Likes to get up and about. Quite an animated player. Always good for a watch on the live stream.
No relation to Bill Laurie or anything? Or
I think he wants to
Pigeon
be.
Club or something? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure they would have raced pigeons against each other at some stage. He breeds them and races them, and just
right.
all round loves it.
Yeah.
Liv just a touch under, trying to play a little bit of weight to dislodge Brett Mahoney's bowl. So one bowl to come in the opening end, 2 1/4 hour time limits, 15 end matches.
Brett probably just needs to be just around this short bowl. Just around this short bowl to add another one. He's definitely higher. It's a very good effort. Just got to drop, maybe just through a foot or so. Good effort.
Track was good. Pick up a single on the opening end to Andrea TUDOROVIC and Brett Mahoney. Most of the combinations we see, Gaz, is female leading, male skipping. Of course, when you have someone with the calibre of Liv Cartwright, we flip that on its head. Sam Rogers leads and Liv Cartwright skips the rink. Certainly been in very good form, had quite a strong Australian Open last year. Last couple of years, in fact.
Yeah, she did. I remember seeing one game in particular. She played Taylor Bruce, the current world champ, at Paradise Point, and Liv was lucky enough to get over the top of Taylor on that particular occasion on a quicker green, and she's going from strength to strength and playing really well, and just a fantastic person to boot. So yeah, it's great to see that variation of Sam leading up and Liv skipping. So see how that unfolds, but she's made it down this far, so done obviously very well to get this far. So.
Yeah, not wrong. Sam no slouch, of course. He's won the Champion of Champions for the Northern Gateway region this year. He's won the region pairs this year, so he'll find himself at our State Champions Week in Bendigo in a couple of disciplines. Very handy bowler. Still only relatively young, both those two. Lucas Protopappas in the Facebook comments saying hello to you, Gaz.
Hello, Lucas. Good morning, my friend. I'm surprised he's not here.
He is. Well, he was here this morning,
okay.
So he may be on the outside rinks.
Ah, very good.
Oh,
very
no,
good.
he'll be over watching his mum, who's a couple of rinks over,
I
playing
did see Carol, yeah.
with the great Nick Dorr. He doesn't miss too much. Oh, mate, Lucas. What's Sammy done here? Needed to add a couple of feet from his last. He's done that beautifully well. Nice little touch on the jack.
Excellent shot, and I see they've both reverted or started off on this backhand side going away from the clubhouse. It probably is the turnier side, as you said, Tony, and it is quite kind, and with a turnier side generally like that, you can find your weight fairly well too. So it's not just the line, it's not just about the line, it's how you can find your weight most consistently too. Sometimes not all the time, but generally the wider hand will be more conducive to that as opposed to the tighter hand.
Yeah, we saw in the first round of 64 knockout match this morning, both teams electing to play the ditch side. And after probably 4 or 5 ends, Trish Doolan in particular switched to the other hand, and they tended to find it okay as well. But as you say, the ditch hand a little kinder. Certainly working for Sammy Rogers. Another good pill here.
He's just slipped through into a perfect position.
For those just joining us, that's the voice of Gary Willis, who has donated a bit of his time into commentary with us today, and we're absolutely tickled pink. Gary Willis, not only a cracker player in his own right, played for Australia and represented Australia at Commonwealth Games and so on, but is now the national coach of our Jackaroos. Still playing a bit, Gaz? You're still trundling them down for Cabramatta every now and again?
Yeah, I played Platinum Pennant last year. Obviously, we had a little win there, which was fantastic, and they still keep dragging me back in, mate. I don't know why, but I'm still there, and I'm still loving my pennant. Great shot there from Pidge.
Yeah, cuts it back to 1.
it's probably been one of my favourite aspect of our great game is that pennant. I just love the whole pennant concept, visiting other clubs, meeting other people, and I think I'll play it until I possibly can't do it anymore. I just love the pennant play.
Certainly huge in the southern states, Victoria. It's the staple of our bowls down here.
Great effort here from
Great
Liv.
bowl.
What a great shot. Just picked the gap perfectly and
She may have got the jack far enough for 3. It'd be very close. Certainly 2. A little touch may well have helped to get it third shot in.
I think Andrea's indicated 3. That's a wonderful shot.
Pidge is a very good draw bowler. And has a devastating drive as well. Still 2, maybe 3. John Roberts, ITO extraordinaire, is our paddler today, so he'll give us an indication.
Liv wants to be careful here. She doesn't want to make too big a target or even touch her bowl and make that a little bit fatter. You have to be a little bit careful. You're switching hands, and that's a good call from Sam. Just get back. They've got a good 2 or 3 backwards against them.
Sam Rogers, I won't say this while he can hear me, but a very good reader of the head and will generally make a very good tactical decision. So you would expect someone with the quality of Liv's play getting a benefit of someone who can read ahead and call the right shot. That'll be a pretty handy combination here at the Vic Open.
And Liv's done well there. She's done exactly what Sam asked her to do. Brett's got a tough shot here, but there is a shot. He stays on the forehand. It looks pretty good on the backhand. That nice turny hand, little trail of the jack down to the blues. He wants to be positive. You don't want to be short. You're obviously down, so you want to be up.
Yeah, correct. He can play with a little bit of extra weight here, as you say.
And that's what he's done. He's on the backhand.
Is it going to get back?
Just looks high, Tony.
Yeah, weight was good.
Weight was perfect.
Great effort. So Liv Cartwright has a chance to add 1 more. It's called as 2. It's very close to 3. Touch of jack movement would be ideal, just an inch or 2.
Yeah, I think she can play a positive shot here. It's a good turning hand, pretty consistent, so she can just throw one out there wide with confidence there, Tony, I think.
Yep, 2 and a measure as signalled by John Roberts, our paddler. Set away nice and smooth.
She's just under this line, but she sneaks over the top of this bowl of Brett's. Oh, weight was good enough to count. Might have just turned that bowl of Brett's enough to cut it back to 2, Tony.
Could be. They'll put a tape on. They've taken 2 out. We'll see if this is 3. Round of 32, as we say, 16 matches remaining. There's 8 on the indoor here, 4 outdoor, and 4 being played at Newborough Bowls Club, not too far down the road. Confirmed as 3, so there you go. Good pick up for the pairing of Sam Rogers and Liv Cartwright. And our lead 3 shots to 1, 2 ends in. And Gaz, in our Facebook comments, Graham Clements says g'day.
Oh, wow, a legend. Absolute legend, Clemo. Yeah, g'day, Clemo.
Former national coach of the Australian blind team, the vision impaired team.
Yeah, and a fantastic Victorian representative. Played many good matches against Clemo. Sorry to say he beat me in most of them, but yeah.
Well, you can't win them all, mate. Now, you played for ACT.
Yeah.
Did you ever play for New South Wales?
No.
Just
So
ACT,
after I retired from international bowls in 2002, I came back and played New South Wales zone teams and New South Wales reserves against Queensland. But then started our young family and gave up after that pretty much. All rep bowls. So yeah, had a good stint with ACT, a couple of 100 games for ACT. Back in the days when we only played 7 games a year, sort of thing. So. And a few New South Wales reserve games, which was really good.
How old were you when you broke into the state team, ACT team?
Oh, that was early 91. Okay. 91, yeah. So 91 through to about 2004.
So you would have been 6.
Yes, I'd show my age.
Yeah.
But,
do you call it the state team, or do they call it the territory team? What do they do in ACT?
State team, yeah, they call it state team. Yeah, yeah.
I never quite knew what to say, and I didn't want to offend anyone from the territory.
Yeah, I don't think there was any real concern there, but yeah, it was always the state team. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty good leading from both players here. That one just a touch shy, but we're still in the count.
Another great start from Sam too. He's really found it straight up.
He's been in very good form.
Another couple of Facebook comments there. Good morning, John Rich, old Canberra boy, now Melbourne based, or has been here for quite some time. So
Mr. Berwick himself, Johnny Rich.
We've got some visitors from all over the place too, Tony. He's got Fife in Scotland and Bundy in Queensland. Good morning.
Mary's a regular watcher of our streams here on BVTV. Of course, all made possible by the generous support of Moama Bowls Club and Dandenong Club, who allow us to bring you this vision on BVTV day in, day out. A little bit more pepper on this one from Sam Rogers, finishing in behind. Good leading.
That's a good shot. It's not a selfish shot, that one. He probably needed to get something past, and he did that, so he's done his job. Andrea's got a good shot on here just to turn her own or sit through Sam's bowl, so she can be a little bit positive with this one as well.
The question on YouTube earlier around 3-bowl pairs and whether it's a leader's game or a skipper's game. What are your thoughts as national coach, Gaz?
I think it's really, from a leads perspective, it's really strategic, you know. So I think knowing that a skip has got 3 goes or 3 opportunities to fix whatever they have to get out of or consolidate, I think it's really important that the lead, it's probably, you know, exactly what Sam's done just there. It's not a selfish bowl to go deep. He's drawn the shot, he's done his job, and then he's gone deep to put Olivia in a good position that if you know, Brett or Andrea happen to get the shot, well, then she's got a shot to play. So I think, there's strategy in it. And I think, obviously, with a skip or a good skip with 3 opportunities to make a change ahead, that's going to happen. So you have to anticipate that, you know. So. And that's another great shot from Liv.
Lovely bowl. Holding a couple now.
And again, Tony, I just think this side, this ditch side of this rink 8 in particular, Brett Mahoney on the drive, he's got it, it's a great shot.
Jack out of bounds and killed, so we'll replay that end. For those who watch a lot of our Vic Open coverage, you'll know that we generally had the respot in play, but this year we've moved to killed ends. Kind of felt that we've got the time limit, so you don't need to have the time limit and the respot. Go one or the other. It's certainly been very popular with all our players and those watching. Ray Mitchell in the Facebook comments says Gary and Adam Jeffrey were legends for the ACT. That is true. Where's Adam Jeffrey playing at now? Is he?
Thanks for that, Ray. You're right with Adam Jeffrey. I don't know about me. I wouldn't put myself in the same boat. But Ads still catch up with him every now and then, hear from him every now and then. So he's still playing fantastically well from all reports. And still in Canberra, so had many great memories with the great AJ, Australian representative, New South Wales representative, and ACT representative. So
relatively handy resume.
He did just about everything there was in the game. So it was great to sort of come through the junior ranks with him and learn from him too, coming up as a youngster.
A touch shy there from Sammy Rogers. Track's still pretty good. And the scouts tell me Andrea TUDOROVIC was a very good badminton player in years gone by, may have even played for the state. Turned her attention to bowls probably 4 or 5 years ago thereabouts, and Brett Mahoney's coached her through a lot of that journey, so nice to see the two of them playing together.
That's a great story, isn't it? Yeah. And she's starting to zone in too, Andrea, on this backhand coming down this side.
Touch narrower. See where this one finishes. It is the narrow of the two hands.
Speed's excellent again. Sam, what can he do? He just needs to get over the top of his front bowl.
And you can actually use the two bowls of Andrea TUDOROVIC.
And I think he's just about done that. He's going to catch the shot and slide in himself a shot. Great shot there by Sam.
Signalled by John Roberts, our marker, as one blue paddle. So the blue is for Liv and Sam, and the red paddle is for Andrea and Brett Mahoney.
Gotta go to the jack now, eh? Gotta get the jack back.
Andrea's just slipped through with that one. It's not all bad. She wasn't happy when she let it go, but it's finished in not a bad spot, to be honest.
Yep. So the Aussie team was down here for, what, 3 or 4 days? Pretty intensive camp, some early mornings and late nights.
Certainly was, yeah. We were really lucky again with our hosts at Traralgon. Like we were here at 7 o'clock in the morning and finishing at 11:30 at night. So we really put them through their paces. We try to condense our camps as much as we can because their programs are so busy. So we try and squeeze as much in as we could. Good shot here from Liv. That's snuck in for second shot.
Yep.
Yeah, so they played a lot of games. We had our paras come in on the Sunday night for 2 or 3 days and then swapped over to our open. So, yeah, lots of games, but gave us a good insight into what the format might be. Good shot here from Brett. That's a wonderful shot.
Make it look easy as Brett Mahoney.
He's in fine form after the doggies' big win. Carried that form onto here.
Except the doggies didn't win. They nearly won. Or are you talking NRL?
I was talking about the bowls, the Premier Division bowls.
Gotcha. Yes.
Are they the doggies? Yeah,
they are.
Yeah,
they certainly are. They won our Metro BCIB Metropolitan Premier Division this year.
Fantastic.
Apologies, I thought you were referring to the footy last night.
No, I was talking about the bowls.
Yeah, and look, their first time they've ever won it. Put together a very strong team. Brett Mahoney, as the coach of that club, can take a fair chunk of credit for it.
So the confidence would be at full noise.
Look, he's a competent kind of guy, no doubt about that. He's always up and about. Generally quite animated on the green. You'll hear him yell out at some stage during this match, "Get it right."
Here he goes.
That's his catchphrase.
Any turn. Oh, it's a good effort.
Great effort. A few legends in the Facebook comments too. Brett Spur, good afternoon to you.
Hello, Mr. Spur. Great to see you on having a look. Yeah, so we played a lot of games, Tony. They basically played a singles round robin in what we have guessed will be a sort of a BPL type format for the Com Games, which is totally new, obviously, to the Com Games format. Traditionally, it was singles, pairs, triples and fours and reverse disciplines, so you play 2 disciplines, whereas now it's going to be singles and pairs from what we're hearing in the sets play format. Very short, sharp games, so it's going to be really cutthroat.
Is it good or bad, the change?
Oh, I think, you sort of look at historically what the Com Games and our part. Liv Cartwright,
from Liv.
She has played an absolute cracker there.
I think she's a bit stiff
for no result.
Just gone through to still be down a couple, but it's a great effort. It's a very good head.
she didn't have too many more options there.
No.
It was really that she had to play the shot she played and just didn't quite get the results. So it was a really good effort.
I don't know what Pigeon's shot is here other than to try and rest on Sam Rogers' bowl. It's just to the right of the jack on that shot.
Don't think he's trying too hard.
No, he's kind of wanted to but didn't want to.
Yeah.
A little bit chicken, as they say.
Yeah.
They pick up a couple, though, nonetheless. And we are tied at 3 shots apiece. Yeah, so the change in format, Gaz, is good or bad, you think?
Yeah, I think, I mean, first and foremost, we're thrilled to be part of it. You know,
Yep.
for our sport, it's huge to be part of the Com
Absolutely.
Games. It's always been the pinnacle event for anybody aspiring to play international bowls. You always wanted to play Com Games in front of a global audience.
Yep.
And I think that's the most special thing about Com Games. It's a global audience that promotes our sport. And if that's the way we can do it on the big stage with the shorter formats to try and,
Yep.
you know, garner that spectator interest. At the end of the day, we're still playing bowls, a version of bowls,
Absolutely.
so it's still good for our current membership.
And rubbing shoulders with the best swimmers and
That's
you know,
right.
track
Yeah,
stars
yeah,
and whatever
yeah,
it may be.
Yeah, so to put our sport in the best light, it's great. It's going to be good for TV. I think it's good for the sport. So yeah, we'll get our head around it. Obviously, BPL format or similar format is not foreign to us, which is really good. So that's a benefit for our Australian players. The difficulty we've got is the indoor surface. So although we play a couple of BPLs a year, you know, UK-based players play 9-10 months a year.
Exactly.
That's the big thing we're up against. So we've got to work really hard because it's not going to be anything like we've experienced before. So
Portal Rink's sort of the same as Potters, those who watch a little bit of the World Bowls Tour and so on. Similar sort of rink to that?
Absolutely. So it'll be in from what we're hearing in Glasgow, it'll be in an exhibition centre. So there'll be multiple sports in the same venue, and it'll be rinks similar, as you say, Tony, to Potters, where they'll build the rink and obviously pull it apart once the event's finished. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays, you know. So it's going to be the same for everybody. It could, have its little tricks, as carpet often does. So once we get to get on that, which probably won't be until the games itself, we've got to try and prepare the best we can.
Events,
there's no sort of lead up. If there's any opportunity, we'll certainly put our hand up to get over there and try and be part of that. But
can you try and get over to Potters or something like that while they're on?
Yeah, the biggest issue is that they've got a pretty strict qualification process. PBA, part of the PBA qualifying events makes it really restrictive for Australian-based players. So we've just got to do our best on the indoor surfaces we've got, and try and get our head around that style of play and adapt. So we'll head over. We've got a Scottish tour lined up in October, late September, early October, to play against the Scots, which is fantastic.
Nice.
We're really looking forward to that, and just get a more of a feel for the area, familiarise ourselves, with that style of play, because they've got some tremendous indoor players, obviously in the Scottish international team, but even at club level, they know their rinks really well. So that tour will be a really good learning curve for us. So,
not wrong. Some good bowls here from Sammy Rogers. Check his third bowl. On the way now, needs to get the inside edge of his own bowl and does. And a little touch on the jack is a bit of a bonus. So the game style, what are you expecting in terms of that carpet? Is it almost solely the draw, or there'll still be a few hits?
I think you've got to be, obviously on your draw game. On carpet, it's very weight sensitive, so drawing is key.
Pigeon with weight. Oh, it actually gets a side bowl and spits the jack straight back. See, this one comes off a wing bowl onto jack, and the bowl goes straight back. So you're holding a couple, but more room than anyone requires. This will be a bit of a draw off by the skippers. Yeah, watching a bit of Potter stuff, it's pretty rare they ever drive on that. It's more promote bowls through and find little angles to get in for the draw.
It is, yeah, absolutely. I think, we're going to have to sort of have that in the back of our minds, but we also want to play to our strengths. Our players have got... Liv Cartwright has played an absolute absolutely magnificent bowl there. by
Picture
Liv.
perfect.
They've put the pressure right back on Brett now. He's probably got about 1'18", Tony, to draw that shot.
Yeah, not going to be easy. And Liv does have last bowl as well. I'll tell you what's a fair effort by Brett Mahoney.
I think it's better than that.
Wow.
What a shot.
What a bowl. Even Liv Cartwright still applaud that one. That's 2 inches off the ditch.
She has got an opportunity here just to add a
in,
foot,
or?
sit that bowl, you know. So she's down, so she can be up. She's got second shot. Just got to be a little bit careful. She doesn't want to put herself under too much pressure. She's got plenty of room with the last. She did play that increased weight. And
Just a
with
touch wide.
Increased weight, she's just pushed a little bit wide, yeah.
And they're the expert comments of Gary Willis, our national coach, giving us a bit of his time in commentary, which we're thrilled with.
Yeah, so we'll try to continue to play to our strengths, Tony, too, but we're just going to have to, you know, suck it and see a little bit, just work out what those rinks are playing like and adapt accordingly.
Pigeon looks a little bit quicker here. Just got to stop. No, just a couple of rolls too many. Still holding shot, though, with Liv Cartwright with the final bowl of this fourth end. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see the Commonwealth Games, and obviously that'll change. Well, it'll impact selection and who's got the right game style and those sort of things. I don't envy the job of the national selectors. Particularly, it's a pretty limited field, I think, isn't it? Did you say 3 men, 3 women?
Yeah, it's pairs
and
singles.
para?
So yeah, it'll probably be the para format hasn't changed from the previous Com games.
Okay.
So it's men's pair, a women's pair, and a VI mixed pair.
Yep.
And then in the opens, it's a pairs, men's pairs, women's pairs, men's singles, women's singles. So yeah, we go. It's a big reduction for our open teams, which is obviously disappointing and hard to, a bit hard to swallow. But it is what it is. But as you say, it's going to make that selection process very difficult and highly competitive.
It's hard enough trying to select 5 men, 5 women, and 6 para athletes. Now you've got to less than half that. So.
You know, we're blessed with the depth of talent that we have in our country and all of the events that contribute to that, like this Vic Open and all of the other wonderful events we have, but it makes the job so hard, and it's no wonder that Dave Stockham in South Australia, Australian selector's got no hair left, you know, so...
I saw him the other night, he was already trembling.
Yeah. Along with Therese Hastings from WA, the West Australian legend Therese, national selector, and Karen Murphy and myself.
All 4 great bowls people. They're very invested in the program, invest in the bowlers that are vying for those spots, and it's not going to be easy. So as much as I do joke around every now and again, I kind of really feel for the selectors to try and pick such a limited team and have to give news to some of the athletes that haven't made it but are good enough to be there. But
certainly the worst part of the job, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but,
not many jobs that are all good things. So slight lead here, nice close match. I mean, that draw off to the ditch, the last end between Liv and Brett Mahoney just shows the calibre of this match. Currently 4-3 lead, Andrea TUDOROVIC and Brett Mahoney. Just 4 ends gone, 15-end match.
I see Tony, Andrea switched over to what we believe to be the kinder side. I think that's a really good move. I think she's gone over there. The last end coming down this way, she had perfect weight and just missed a line narrow. And obviously she's had a chat with, I'd say, with Brett, and they've switched her over. I think it's a really good move.
Just under the Sam Rogers bowl is very, very good. He's a very positive skipper too, is Brett Mahoney, always very encouraging.
Straight away you can see that change. She's nailed that line.
Yep.
Holding one, leave that be. Better here, turn your own, draw a shot.
Yeah. Switching back to the narrower hand.
Well, she's got a good close one there now, so it's definitely the call. You don't want to hit that bowl of Sam's in. If she can just pass or draw a shot, turn her own. She's got a couple of options here on the backhand. Yeah, she's played it very, very well. That's a hard switch, and she's done it perfectly.
Yeah, lovely bowling. Sammy Rogers with the final leads bowl in this 5th end.
Sam himself's got a good shot on here. Turn his own bowl. Turn down to the shot bowl. His weight's good. Will he turn? Yeah, it's a good shot. Just out probably, but very close.
Danny469 on YouTube comments asking, will Phil Crowder and Leone make the final 32? They did. They are up against Adam Cassidy from Middle Park and Sammy Atkinson from, what says Dandenong in that list, but not sure if she's still Dandenong or not. Might be Newborough now, I think, from memory. But so yes, they've got a battle on their hands in the round of 32. Don't have any scores from that one. That one being played a little bit down the road in Newborough. Brett Mahoney continuing his lovely draw bowling. Holding a couple now.
Reece Jeffs, if we ever get a game of pairs together, yes, I will use those size 5 super grips, mate.
Should be more events with them.
If you're willing to carry me.
Well, he's a heck of a bowler, Reece.
Liv's just missed a line there. Obviously just trying to change that head a little bit and pushed it just high. Pidge has just left this one behind a little bit. So Liv's got options here. Turning Sam onto the jack, sitting off Andrea's front bowl. Trail the jack herself through the hole.
Sam's bowl's lined up beautifully to just have a little tickle in for shot. Just going to have to get down slightly from there. Very similar to her first.
So I think you're still, just with that little bit of weight, you think you're still going to get the same turn, and it just holds its line marginally. So Liv's going to have to correct that with the last one. She'll be thinking about that now. She'll be visualising that line, thinking, okay, I've pushed it out there twice, it hasn't happened, with similar sort of weight. So she's got to think that through. Let's see, Pidge is up and about. He likes it. Likes it. He's not far away. He's going to change the head. Change the head, not for the better.
Unfortunately, he's just given shot away. Push the jack through. So now what does Liv do? She obviously doesn't want to push the jack back unless she's going to push it a long way.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones, Tony, where you just sort of suck it up a little bit, maybe push one out there wide, and if you happen to draw back for another one, so be it. If not, I wouldn't be trying too hard here. They've got away with it, really. They were 2 down. Pidge has given the shot away. At this stage of the game, I think it'd be good to hang on to this one. The worst case on this backhand is if she's too heavy and turn Andrea's in, but she's thrown off, so it's probably not a bad decision.
Sam Rogers yells out boring. He is the class clown in the office. Old Sammy. A little bit of clown action out here on the green. But a good match nonetheless. Currently positioned at 4-all after 5 ends. And Gaz, it's been a pleasure sharing the commentary booth with you for a minute. You're going to stick around, which will please Brendan Elliott quite a lot. He loves hearing from the national coach. I'm going to sub myself out. Thank you very much. We'll have Troy Stiffy Stafford coming in.
Thanks, Tony.
Afternoon, Gaz.
Hello, Troy. How are you?
I'm good, mate. You?
Not too bad, thanks. Not too bad.
How are you finding this match?
Oh, I'm finding it intriguing. It's just they're just warming up, I think. It's going to be a tight tussle right to the end, I believe.
Yeah, it looks to me like Leeds and Skips having a good battle with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sam and Andrea, I think Andrea's getting better and better as she's going. So Sam's going to have to hang on here and make sure he matches her.
Yep.
And then we'll see what the Skips can do. But shaping up pretty well.
Yeah, hence probably why it's 4-all.
Yes, correct.
Is this your first Vic Open?
It is, yes. First time I've had the privilege of being here. It's fantastic. Yeah, huge event, increased in size, numbers and everything, and great to be in this beautiful facility too. So, as we said to Tony, we've been here all week and they've just treated us so very well.
Yeah, that's good. It's it's a great facility here with, you know, look at the crowd around, and that mezzanine I think is such a great spot to be able to watch bowls.
I think that's one addition to this indoor venue that they've really cashed in on, isn't it? The function room up there with the mezzanine is just brilliant.
Yeah,
great
absolutely.
Idea.
And then, you know, the clubhouse at the other side of the green to where we're standing with bifolds that, you know, it feels like it brings the clubhouse onto the green.
Yep.
Sort of integrates the two. I think, though, that the setup they've done such a great job with.
And it's brought the crowd in too, Troy. It's a pretty solid turnout here today. You can't get a car park, so they've got the overflow car park happening. So there's a big crowd in.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw any of the stream this morning, but if they're watching quality bowls like that, it was actually an outstanding game of bowls.
Yeah, I was here a little bit earlier. There was several good games across on this good surface. Last bowl jobs, which is fantastic.
Down to the wire.
Yep. Sam's played a great shot there with his third bowl. He needed to arrive, but he also needed to sort of be in the area too for Liv after his first two shorties.
And Pidge is one player you don't want to sit jack high with either.
Yep.
So he hasn't done that as well. So we've sort of found yesterday that most of the leaders elected to play the ditch side. It seemed to be a kinder arc. It just, the other side looked good, but it just looked like it hung a touch, whereas generally on this ditch side, more likely bowls were coming back to the line.
Yeah, and that's what good players generally look for, is the ability to get back to the centre line. I mean, that's where you want to be.
Yep.
And I think particularly on this rink, watching it a lot through the week, a lot of our Australian players played the ditch side. It's a very nice drawing hand, which helps you find your weight as well. And I think the longer the length, the kinder it is.
Okay.
It's really interesting, but it plays nice, and that's what's great shot here by the
that's
Cartwright.
brilliant.
Fantastic shot.
Perfect bowl.
So, I think that's conducive to a good game, and probably the reason, we get to the pointy end of the event, 4-all. Most games are going to be pretty tight on this live stream rink.
Yeah, and Liv's had plenty of practice on this green, having been here during the week, so that's holding her in good stead.
She has, yeah. She played a lot of games. I said to Tony earlier that we had them here at 7:30 in the morning and finishing around 11:30 at night.
Wow.
So we certainly put them through their paces, and
You
Liv stood up wonderfully well. So as far as matching it with the rest of the Jackaroos, so
yeah, she's an up-and-comer.
She is, yeah, very impressed. We took her over to New Zealand late last year to the Oceania Challenge. She came home with a bit of bling, some gold medals, which is fantastic.
That's very cool.
But she's going really well. And Pidge has played a great shot to get them second there.
He's just a solid, particularly on carpet. He's a very, very solid carpet player. I mean, he can play on anything, but I think carpet's his specialty. Got a big runner on him.
On the attack. He's just pushed that high.
He nearly, if he'd got the edge of that, he could have nearly taken his own out, but he got him right in the middle and they just ran through, as we can see on the replay there. He lets him go with plenty of force. Does give him the back one. Wonder if Liv looks to get 2 rolls out of that purple and white. Would that bring Sams in and make 3? Or whether she elects to draw.
Yeah, it's one of those ones, isn't it, where you don't want to make the backwards against them, so you either go deep or you're trying to get another bowl in the head.
Without making a target.
Without making a target, yeah. So if she beats the blues, she's either going deep to get the backwood in, then Pidge has got the opportunity to rip it out for 1, but he's only got 1 bowl in the head. He only drops an extra 1 if he gets it out. So it's it's one of those ones where it's a bit in between, but I think Liv's elected to try and draw another shot here.
Yep. As you say, wanting to get back to that centre line and not force a target.
Brett's got a bit of a shot on here now in the backhand. He can just trail that jack to his own, sit the bowl once to make 2, trail the jack to the blues to make 3 or 4.
Yep. About a metre or 2 away.
And I'd say on that line, playing that hand, Liv was just trying to cover that, just hang around Brett's bowl. If she beats the blues, she sort of took that shot away.
Yeah.
The intent was there. Brett's not far away from this.
Has he got the run?
He's got enough run to draw the shot. Oh! Yeah, he's just fallen a few inches short there, but a great effort.
1 to live.
He would have loved another foot on that.
5-4 up after 6. So a few people engaging in the comments here. Matt saying your mum had a big victory this week.
She did. She won a first club singles. So Mum followed me around way back, starting my bowls journey in the 85, 86. Mum used to drive me around all over the place. Only started bowls within the last sort of 10 years and won a first club singles the other day. So she's
very cool.
She's won a state fours and a club singles now, so she's already doing better than me. So yeah, she's going pretty good. Yeah.
So you're not even the best bowler in your family?
Definitely not. Not even.
My folks took it up 2 years ago. I'm not the best bowler in my family anymore either. It sounds like there must be a big section in the ladies' pairs, section 6, and they're asking for our tip. I'm going to have a look at it. So we've got, we've got Cheryl and Sammy Atkinson. We've got 2 from Hong Kong. I don't know if you know. Oh, no, 1 from Hong Kong. Shuk Fong Yong and Michelle Tate. Then we've got Lisa Edwards and Anne Skipworth. And then Sophie Kersman and Trish Doolan.
Okay.
So a bit of talent there. My tip would be the Atkinsons. They just combine so well together.
Yeah, some very strong matchups there. I'm not going to buy into that though, Troy. I'm going to stay right away from that.
I don't mind. I don't need to be Switzerland. I find in a lot of these games the combinations and the camaraderie and the confidence that players have in each other and the knowledge they have of how they play is a big advantage.
Absolutely, yeah. It's that experience thing, isn't it? And just playing smart, I think particularly on carpet, when you get down to the nitty-gritty, the team that comes out on top is going to be the one that's played the smartest and just, got back to the basics really well. So
yeah. Some pretty good opening bowls there from the leads. And one other question about what sort of stat system do you guys use? Do you use the app?
We've got our own app that we use these days. It's been developed, and we've only just started using it. It's a brand new system that we use.
Yep.
So we've been fortunate to have the resource through the AIS to develop a stats app. So it's still being refined, but it's looking pretty good. So
nice.
Yeah, hopefully at some stage we'll be able to get some version of that out to
Clubland,
everybody else.
Yeah.
But at the moment we're still sort of working through it.
Testing.
We've had a stats app over the years, which was developed by Ken Paulson, who works with the Victorian State side.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Ken did a lot of work for us, and it worked wonderfully well. And we've just moved that to the next level now, and worked with some stats developers and some. What would you call it? Some app developers to make that even better, which has been fantastic. It's looking really good.
Nice. Pidge is pretty happy in this one. Just needs to run a touch.
But yes, we certainly used to use the old spreadsheets, the tick system, the paper and pencils, and that was a monotonous setup. That was
the old clipboard days.
Yes. Yeah. It was good, but it's certainly good to go to the automated versions.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's good for the players too, because you can give that on the spot. Hopefully when ours evolves, we can give that on the spot feedback.
And you've got more feedback to give. It's not just about whether it was effective or not.
Yep.
Are there issues on forehand, backhand, short ends, long ends, short bowls, long bowls, etc.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big, game changers for our sport is that collection of data and what it looks like over time. So analysis of opposition players, analysis of different venues, different surfaces, all that sort of stuff is going to be really key. So, it's exciting. And I think, that's not just for international level. That's at club level, that's at state level, right through the system. And can, start to develop some talent ID opportunities too. So,
Speaking of talent ID opportunities, another good bowl from Pidge.
Brett, great shot.
Sitting jack high though. It's Liv's got Sammy's 2 bowls, not probably 2.5 feet, 3 feet past the jack. Sit the bowl, trail the jack. Looks inviting.
Yeah, Liv's up and at him. She's got a couple of options here. Even this tight plant works.
Could work.
Yeah, onto the jack, still one down. But she's got second. Pigeon switched hands. He's just going to try and draw this jack underneath the blue bowl. And he's just missed that line, I think. He sneaks through this hole. He's not far away.
Third shot.
So another good shot in the head. And Liv's going to have to be careful here. She just doesn't want to overplay this, Troy, because if she happens to turn her own bowl out or just misses on the high side, it's going to give Pidge an opportunity to
make a big number.
To sit a bowl out for 3 or 4 here, so just got to play it a little bit.
And that shot bowl looks short of jack, so does it change it to forehand, or does she stick on the backhand where she's got the better catches? So I think, based on what you're saying, it's an important bowl, which is probably why they're coming up to have that conversation, because there's things that can go right and things that can go wrong.
Well, in the context of the game, it's been so tight, and then sometimes when you just get that little break, it just opens the door, doesn't it? You get a 2 or 3 shot buffer, and then all of a sudden it's 5, and then the game gets away, in shorter games. So you just want to be a little bit conservative here, I think.
How often do you see, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5, and then that seems to open the floodgates for numbers to come in? It's strange how that seems to happen. And
it looks really inviting, She sits the bowl for 1 or 2 herself or trails that jack, so it does look really inviting, but I think she's just got to play it a little bit smart here.
So it's one of those ones where weight's important.
Correct. Yeah, weight is key.
And then it's whether she plays forehand or backhand.
I think it's definitely a backhand shot, Troy. But you'd hate to get caught on that, just hold and get caught on that short bowl for nothing,
Yeah, and they've got the catches on that backhand side.
She is down, so, I think she could afford a couple of feet of weight on the backhand, probably no more than that.
Yep.
Just enough to trail it far enough to bring those back ones into play.
I think she's sliding up forehand.
She is on the forehand, and she is heavier weight.
Bigger weight. So we've got the national coach here. What would he know?
And she has caught that ball.
Well, maybe he does know a little bit, because that was what he was worried about.
And now Pidge has got a decision to make.
And he's got more of a clearer path to the bowl now too. He's looking at that forehand, because then if he trails the jack...
Yep, so just over the draw, foot or so, 18 inches of weight.
A couple of turns out of the black if he holds enough for that.
And if he gets that one, Troy, he's probably going to get back to the jack anyway to make 3 or 4. So with that weight.
Yeah. It's a big bowl, this one. He's well and truly got the skills to do it. Is it going to come? Here it comes.
He's drawn another shot.
He's drawn it, yeah.
It's a good shot.
How tight this game is. Twos are big, aren't they?
That's it. They certainly are, yeah. That's a good shot. He probably want another foot on that, but certainly be happy with the result anyway. So.
Absolutely. Gives them the lead back. 6-5 after 7. Last 32. 2025 Henselite Victorian Open. Mixed pairs here at Traralgon Bowls Club. Thank you Traralgon and Morwell for hosting. Thank you to our naming partner Henselite, to Latrobe City Council, and also Destination Gippsland.
Okay, so they've hit the front. Big start from Andrea after a good pickup of 2. Would be really good here, and she's done that. She's not far away. Good start.
Do you guys talk about, it looks like when we watch the Aussie players, when they miss a shot, they miss it the right way. They miss it past, or they miss it in what I would call good areas.
Absolutely. Talk about it a lot. So always missing in good areas with good weight. So you're missing on the right side, or you're missing in an area to set your teammate up or set yourself up for the next shot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you're more of a chance if you're wide, then you're erring on the wide, or if you're more of a chance of being narrow playing the shot, you're on the narrow.
That's right. Yeah. Great start from Sam there. He's probably just a foot short of the jack by the looks of things.
Yeah, and just that thing of, almost hitting the jack, which can put some players off. Andrea's looks like similar to her first.
Good memory.
Pretty well identical.
Good memory.
Anything between this jack and those 2 bowls of Andrea's would be very handy.
Would be perfect, and I think he's done that, Troy. Just got a slow fraction, but it's still a good shot. Past the jack, he's got the shot.
This is the other thing I often see in the 3-bowl pairs, using the leader's 3rd bowl more as maybe a seconds type shot, like a 2-bowl triples game. So changing over as opposed to, you just stay there and draw.
Absolutely. We spoke about a little bit earlier that, any good skips, particularly when you get down to this level, the last 64s, 32s, the skips are going really well. They got 3 shots to get the shot back. So you don't want to stack heads. You want to play strategically and get backwoods in, cover bowls, that sort of thing. So it's super important. Great shot here from Andrea.
And look at the changeover.
She's drawn the shot. That's a really good shot.
And falls too. That's perfect. Been playing the wrong hand.
Yeah. Well, she started off on that hand and wasn't too bad, but it just sort of, she was playing good weight and just wasn't quite hitting the line, but she certainly hit it with that one.
Absolutely.
It's not a bad reply here either, Troy. I'll tell you
if
what.
he can get around his and run up to that jack.
Great shot.
Oh, what a shot. He's second, but that's tremendous. Is this one where Pidge is going to look, he plays an aggressive game, look to arrive, try and turn that last bowl out, pop the jack having those 2 catches, or is he going to go conservative?
Yeah, I think if he does happen to touch the shot bowl, it's going to his bowls. They've got quite a good shot on here. Liv's got a good shot on the backhand just to spring the jack herself. So I think he'd probably want to take that away from her.
Yeah.
So draw the shot. If you spring the jack out, they've got 1 in 3.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad option. That's exactly what he's trying to do. He just needs a little bit of turn and a little bit of run. What a great shot.
Oh, it's a good 3rd. Doesn't make it any easier for Liv. She really needs to get the outside of Sam's now. If she gutses that front one through Pidge's last bowl, it looks to me like Sam's second shot's going to go out of the head.
Yeah, that's certainly not the ideal option. Yeah, she needs the outside. You're right, Troy. She needs the outside of the second shot, just to spring that jack out to their own bowl. And again, you're talking missing in good areas, so if she's got good weight here on that high side of what she's trying to do, she's going to land in a good area. So
and cover where those 2 bowls of Andrea's are. She might land those.
And that's a really good shot.
Yeah.
She's played that really well.
Yeah.
Any sort of turn, she was nearly back to the shot she was hoping for, but she played really good weight to get the cover bowl as well. So it's taken a little bit of a danger away there.
Yeah, it's taken Pidge's sort of, if he was wanting to be a little more aggressive, he's got a bit of danger if it goes wrong now. So
it's going to be harder for him to get to this second shot now.
Ooh, what's that done?
That one.
We'll wait for our marker Johnny Roberts to indicate.
There's not much in this. They've all had a really close look. John's right in the thick of it.
And his measure.
Measure, yeah.
A measure. So now they're electing to make use of that last bowl that Liv's put there and try and make that one shot, turning the blue through the jack. Don't think it's going to quite hang.
Okay. The plot thickens.
It does, especially when you don't know who's got it. If Johnny Roberts doesn't know, standing right over the top of it, what hope have we got?
And this is what now makes that that first bowl of that missing in good area so important with Liv. So it's taken away options for Brett here, but he's going to look to play through Liv's last bowl and turn his onto what might be the shot bowl. He could play a really good shot and make a 2 here. There is a little element of risk, but he's probably not going to drop more than a 2, worst case scenario.
How tight is this head too? You know, all the bowls that aren't sort of within the mat are all past the jack and waiting in good spots.
Yeah, they're getting better and better, aren't they, as they zone in on this rink.
What's
the back
that going to
edge.
do?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
okay.
gone to Sam Rogers.
All right.
It's a big opportunity now as we see getting the outside of that black one onto the bowl that was in the measure. I wonder if the weight and the shot he played there indicated that he thought he was down.
Yeah, well, he was definitely up and at it, wasn't he? So he wasn't taking any risks of dropping a shot, not giving it a go.
Yeah. He either thought he was down or was just really not confident that he had it.
Well, 2 bowls wider with that weight. If he gets that perfect, he could have made 2 himself as well. So Liv's got a good opportunity here to bit of a free kick. She's got probably 2 feet to draw another shot.
So in a contest at 6-5, these bowls are important, aren't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's going to get back.
She's got perfect weight, and it just hasn't got back for her, unfortunately.
I think that's going to square us up here. 6-all after 8.
1 it is.
So just got a few updates of scores. Thanks, Matty Tobre, for filling us in. So we've got Flapper 16, Coleman 7 after 9. Dora and Spataro 5-all after 8. Wilson, who we saw win on the live stream just before, 10 versus Turnbull 2 after 7. Sidebottom and Orr 5-all after 7. Anderson 13, Kraus 1 after 8. McElwain, geez, writing's messy. He used to be a school teacher too, but he did teach PE, so that makes a bit of sense. I don't know if that's a 10 or a 6. It's either 10-3 or 16-3. McElwain over Miller after 7. Brown 8, Veenendaal 2 after 6. Fletcher 9, Hubber 3 after 6. Robertson 16, Twyrold 6 after 8. Cromie 16, Cassart 8 after 10. And Curran and Sharman 5-all after 8. If you're interested in any of those. Okay, we've just been... Harry's dad's just come and told us that Matty Tobre is not the best messenger that we've ever had because it's actually Coleman 16 and Flapper 7. But we appreciate his efforts anyway, as Sammy's just drawn this cold.
Good shot, Sam. Very good shot.
Is this one where both sides now are going to try and sit and trail, even Sam, given that he's holding, but just with that target there, looks pretty inviting.
Absolutely, yeah. Jack-high bowl, you can always use those.
She's on the right track.
What a great line.
Makes it harder for Sam to change it now.
Yeah, he's got the backwood there now, so he can just draw another shot.
Yeah.
Liv's changed his hand, so that's okay. I don't think he's had too many goes out here, so this will be interesting.
Yeah. I think we'll see Andrea change too, depending, of course, what this does.
Yeah, he's played it pretty well for his first
little
crack.
flick off that would help.
Just turned under on him.
It's all right. Gave it a chance.
It's better playing it tighter than wide. You're just playing 2 feet away. 2 feet on the back.
So here we are talking about where to miss. Better to be tighter than wide. More chances. Couple of feet away.
Yeah, there's a couple of things in that, Troy. It will hold on that hand down there with that little bit of extra weight, so it's a positive call from Pidge to get her on the tighter side.
Yeah.
And if it holds, which it has been doing on this hand.
Well and good.
Well and good. And she's not far away. She's probably a bit quicker than you wanted, but it's going to work.
Can't quite see it for you, but she's got the jack and she's
work.
followed it through.
Yeah. Very good shot.
Bit of space, but she has got the shot. We've got President Pat Schramm tuning in at Newborough in glorious sunshine, watching some cracking bowls. She's got the luxury of watching what's going on here and what's going on there. And then Kaz Rhodes watching local footy in Bendigo and bowls in Traralgon. How good is technology that can bring all those sorts of things to you?
Sounds like heaven, doesn't it?
Pretty good.
Bit of the footy, bit of the bowls.
Yeah, my team's playing tonight, so I'll be keen to watch that.
Okay, Liv on the draw. Wants to nail this jack if she can.
Looks to be on a good track.
That's a great opener. Just got to drop off a fraction. Good start, very
Yeah.
good shot.
So whilst we saw, that jack's gone 1.5 metres, 2 metres, it's still on the centre line, so it's not an offline jack. Advantage Liv after 1 bowl each.
This is a really big bowl here. If she can nail this jack, it's going to make it really tough for Brett to get out of this.
Yeah.
Good line. Is she just quicker?
I think she's quicker.
Fraction quicker. She nailed the line again. Okay, she's left the door open.
Yeah, first in, best dressed.
Imagine it's pretty hard to miss your line down this side on this length for players of this quality.
He's nominated as being better. How much better is it?
It's about 2 bowls
yeah.
better. But it is better.
So it's still 1 to Liv, according to paddler Johnny Roberts.
Yeah.
Just does mean, though, she can't afford to tighten the line.
Nothing for tight. Nothing for tight. I think she's out there well again, Troy.
Is this one going to stop? Bit of a noise up and about. Benny Fletcher up against Benny Hubber, and he's up and about and leading probably one of the favourites in the event, Benny Hubber and Selena Goddard. Pretty good combination, those two. Let's see what Andrea thinks. She's calling down. Eagle-eyed Johnny Roberts is pretty happy with that because she's agreed with him.
I think Pidge has just got to add a foot, hasn't he?
Yeah. More than capable. He's definitely quicker.
Well, he's trying to sit this bowl. He's trying to sit this bowl of Liv's. He's not far away.
Oh, he's got the outside of it. Oh, didn't even touch it in the end. So we think it's going to be a 1-shot lead to Rogers and Cartwright, but if it's not, it'll be a 1-shot lead to TUDOROVIC and Mahoney. One it is to Liv. Back-to-back ones for them. Gives them back the lead. 7-6 after 9. It's nip and tuck.
Sam's put the mat right back on the tee.
If any indication of where Liv's standing, they might be going long.
Looks like they're stretching it out a little. They're just going to see if they can't break away.
No.
He's throwing the jack shorter. It looked like she was standing up there for a longer end.
Yeah. Knowing Sam like I do, he doesn't like to listen anyway, so he'd just pick his own length.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, if the skip did call a long end, he better draw one close here.
Exactly. When my lead used to...
I think he's done just that.
Yeah.
Good start. Very good start.
If I was skipping there and I'd asked for a long and I got a short, and then my leader plunked one on like that, I would say back in the will.
Well, he's back in the will.
Back in the will.
He knew exactly what length he wanted to play, Troy.
Absolutely.
He's not far away. Good shot.
That was a probably not a mistake. That was, yeah, deliberate.
Andrea's weight's good with the first. She can keep that weight. Just tighten her line fraction. And Brett likes it. Any turn.
Got the hole.
Good
Still
shot.
a good bowl. Well played.
Very good effort. Good shot. Yeah, well played, Sam. 3 good shots.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've really, as you said, going this way last time, Troy, they've really started to hone in on this jack now. All players are really starting to build some heads, some tight heads. So
Yeah, that was a cracking head last end going this way.
she's in the area again, Andrea. Get down for this jack.
Don't get the hole again.
Oh, she has. Kicked a goal.
Amazing, isn't it? Yes, that is Dean Curran next door. It's 8-5, but I'm not actually certain whose way it is. I think it might be Dean Curran's way, but I'm not certain. Liv just looking to beat that last bowl of Andrea's, I would imagine.
Looks like she is close to drawing another shot. Okay, okay.
Doesn't widen the target. There's still a hole there.
Yeah, I think Liv will be having a little think about that one. If she wasn't trying to get to that blue one, Troy, I think what you mentioned, I think she should be.
Yeah.
Hidge might have already got it.
Get to it! Touch it!
How much of it's he going to get?
He's got enough.
He's got enough.
He's got enough.
Yeah. How many's he made? I think it's at least 2.
It's got to be 2, yeah.
Johnny Roberts indicating 3. 3. Confirmed by Sam Rogers.
Big thing here is they haven't got, Sam and Liv haven't got a bowl past the jack now, so there's a couple of choices to be made here. I think it's got to be aggressive.
Yeah, and backhand, I
Yeah,
think.
I think so. I think she wants this jack.
Yeah.
I don't know if she can see the jack clean. It looks like she can.
I'd say she can. She's close here. She needs to just hold.
Ooh.
Oh, she just caught the edge of it, but she's cut it down. If she stays on, that'd be gold. Just falling in.
This is developing into an interesting end here. Pidge will be trying to get a roll out of his own bowl or draw another shot just around it. And this is going to...
might get in the way.
This is going to be decision time here.
Yeah, that's going to block the shot that Liv just played and was probably going to play again.
Well, she's going to have to make a big decision here. She gets her own bowl. She's 4 down. She hasn't got any backwards, so if she gets Pidge through the jack and doesn't go with it, she's going to be 4 or 5 down.
Can she play the same on the backhand, but a lot less weight?
I think that's the idea. She's just got to rattle through that, hasn't she? She doesn't want to leave it how it is. She's got to change it because Pidge has got an option to sit their bowl out for 5 himself or play his bowl through the jack. So she's got to anticipate what he's going to do or what his options are before she makes a decision on what she's going to do. So.
Yeah, I don't mind backhand with, I don't know, 2 metres away.
I think that's the best option, yeah. I can't see, there's nothing on the forehand. She's just pushing their bowls through the jack.
Yeah.
Backhand looks like the go.
All 4 of those are theirs on the way up there.
Again, missing in good area, so weight's key. She doesn't want to overplay this and lose her bowl.
No.
Or overplay it with weight tight and get their bowls onto the jack. So, really key bowl in the match, this one.
Okay, she's electing to go big again.
That's okay. That's okay. She's not far away.
Oh, what's happened? Has she got second out of it?
I think
she's
2 down.
Two down.
Brett's holding 2. So it'll be interesting to see what Brett plays here because he's got a...
Get under the green and touch the jack, yeah?
There you go.
Yeah.
Just under the green, touch the jack.
His only danger is the outside of the green. If he gets it right, he'll make 4.
Yeah. He could have played a shot there.
On the
more
backhand?
positive shot. Well, on the forehand, but on the tight side. Run up the line of the jack. He's not far away. He's got it. He's
got some of it.
This is a number.
Oh,
this is a big number
it could bring those other 2 in.
I think it has. This is a big turnaround of this match.
That's that not having a bowl past the jack. Johnny Roberts indicating 4. That's a big end in the context of this match. They were 1 behind. We're thinking of 4 according to Johnny Roberts.
He couldn't have got that jack any better, Troy.
No.
He played perfect weight. Even if he was a fraction tighter, what I was sort of alluding to was that he could have slid off the front bowls and moved the jack to the same sort of position, but he got it absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
That one's in. That's 3.
He looks to be unlucky to not have got those other 2 in, or has he? No.
It was just out, I think. Yeah. I think if that jack goes another 2 inches, it's nearly 6.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, umpire for the 4th by the
3 and a measure.
Yeah. Big moment in the match.
And on that, while we wait, we're going to have a commentary change. We're going to sub in Glenn Seditis for myself. You all have the pleasure of listening to our national coach for the remainder of this game. Thank you, Gaz, for joining
Thanks,
us
Troy.
and all your insights. Much appreciated.
Great to see you. Thank you for having me.
And looking forward to the function this evening with yourself and Karen.
Should be good. Looking forward to it.
So, Gary, I've been watching a low-scoring game right throughout, sitting here waiting in the wings, and then sure enough, in the end before I come on, the entire context of the game may have changed on one end alone.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, how our beautiful game changes so rapidly. And I think it was just the fact that they didn't have any bowls past the head. Liv was forced into play a couple of shots and didn't quite get the right angles. And then obviously Brett's played a fantastic shot with his last bowl to trail that jack. And I mean, another 2 inches, 2 or 3 inches, he's probably made 6, but they're measuring for the 4th here now. So big moment in the match.
Going back to those shots of Liv's, do you view that more as a weight-related result in terms of being able to stick around, or is it just being a bit unlucky not getting the bowl square as she could have to hang around more or something like that?
I think the biggest thing was she played the right shot twice. I think she was just a fraction high with the last bowl, caught the front bowl of Sam's, which sort of took her bowl out of the head. If she just misses that, she would have hung around. So, and that's 4 by the looks of that. So it's 4 to Andrea and Brett.
Just wait for John Roberts, our paddler, to confirm.
That's a 4, yeah.
Yep, 4 shots. And with that, we have a new leader. 5 ends of play left though. Plenty of time in a 3-shot margin.
Correct, they're still in it. They're still in it, and the quality of this match has improved. It's been good throughout. The last 4 ends, I think in particular, the heads have really tightened up, and they're really starting to hit their straps. So I think it'll be a big finish. They need to probably win this end, Glenn, I reckon. You know, they don't want to get or get behind by too much. That's
chasing.
right, you know. So, yeah, they probably really want to take advantage of this last bowl of this end and make sure they win this end. Whether it's a 1, they just need to tick that board over, I think, on their side. Sam
just
and Liv.
waiting. Both leads have just taken a natural break, so they'll be back shortly. And we'll be able to return to regularly scheduled programming. Patterns-wise, what have you noticed? Is there something in particular that Sam and Liv can do that will actually actively change that back, or?
Well, I noticed they just tried to change the length end, so whether that was intentional or not, but Sam took the mat right back and threw the jack short. He started off with 3 fantastic lead bowls, but the way that panned out, they ended up not having a bowl past the jack, so that's probably something to take into consideration for the next end. So they'll try and win this end, and when they get that mat, have to have a think about where they put that jack. I'd love to see them just, you know, have a leap of faith and just change it up completely and go really long. You know, we haven't had a really long length, so if I was them, I'd probably look at trying to win this end and then throw one long and Sam nail the jack and just see how that sort of pans out.
Hands-wise, has the trend been to play on this ditch side? We noticed that a lot yesterday throughout the games, that the front ends in particular loved that ditch hand.
Yeah, it definitely has, and we've spoken about it a little bit, that it's a very kind hand. You know you're going to get back to the centre line. So Andrea has changed from this backhand going back towards the clubhouse or the mezzanine to the forehand side. It is a very kind hand. It's a nice rink. There's nothing wrong with the other side. It's just a little bit lazier, but this ditch side's definitely very nice. So.
We talked about it yesterday. You could be a foot away from the ditch, or you could be 3 feet away, and somehow you'll finish within a bowl either side of that centre line when you're done.
It's a big thing. There's a couple of lines to the jack, which is makes it very handy. Yes, for sure. So that's an ideal start from Sam there. He's just left that one behind.
Good advice for any of those players at home, really. If you've got a hand that rewards you for missing every now and then, it's well worth jumping on.
Yeah, well, I think that's the key, isn't it? You know, there's no real formula to what is, you know, the best. You just got to pick the best hand. So work out what the best hand is for you and run with that. So, and that could change during the game. So you've got to be prepared to change yourself, you know. So and be really alert to any of those changes. Another good shot from Andrea.
And being aware within yourself as a player too, in terms of what your preferences are in a hand and how that may change across a game as well.
We can be pretty stubborn, us bowlers, can't we? You know, and we persist and say, I'll get it next end, but you're not actually going to get it. So sometimes it's just worth a change. You know?
Absolutely. I told the story during
good shot, Sam.
Premier finals a few weeks ago, where a similar situation was happening with a preferred hand. I had a first-year player leading for me this year. And a few weeks in a row, he's going, oh, have you got preference for me? I said, mate, you go out and experiment, learn what works for you. And he chose the tight hand a few weeks in a row, and we gave him 5 or 6 ends, and he just wasn't quite nailing it. Went, we'll swing you to the other side. And his weight came into a play and went, well, what you've learnt about yourself is that you're a player that prefers that wide hand and that bowl turning in there rather than trying to go, that's a nice easy line I can see, and I don't have to think about getting anxious about casting it out to the next number, but it just returns back. Yep. And the moment of pride in that was 3 weeks later where he's gone through and he's gone, I'm going to play the wide side today, and from end one, that's what he did, and he had a ripping game for it. And making those decisions that serve you well.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to make the good shot by Sam. He's got the shot back there and set Liv up pretty well after his first bowl just dropped short. He's played 2 really good ones. Andrea's played a good shot there with the last. But
certainly
yeah,
a head you can play with confidence too. That
yeah, you're spot on. And I think something I was told really early on when I first started as a junior was that, most of the time the wide hand's the best side, and you're spot on what you say about the weight. It's not just about the line, it's about actually getting consistent weight and that consistent turn. And sometimes that can be harder on the tight hand, but it's not always the case, So sometimes the tight hand is the best hand.
Brett Mahoney close here.
Great shot
just
pitch.
Slides past Sam's
but
bowl.
A very handy shot all the same. Yeah, sometimes the best hand is the tight hand, but, generally as a rule, the wider side is easier to find your weight. Sometimes for newer players, it's a bit scarier on the wider side, because it feels like there's a bigger margin for error, but you'll find that you consistently find your weight.
If Liv can sit Sam down there, just sliding past, but it's in a good spot breaking up those 2 bowls of Andrea's. After last end where there was that large jack movement, breaking up the possibility for a number back there is certainly valuable.
Come on.
Brett's up and about, he likes it, and he gets down to this shot bowl to Sam's. He's just not going to turn. He couldn't have played it much better. And that's the evidence of how good this hand is. Look at the bowls on the centre line, they've all hit the centre.
We talked about it yesterday as well, that across the green, you look at the other heads on other rinks, and they're not quite as on that centre line. You're seeing those bowls there that don't have that super friendly ditch hand just pulling them back. Good bowl from Liv here. If she just clears past Andrea's bowl, that will make a second.
Maybe that's enough.
Have done so.
Yeah, Johnny Roberts held up 2. He likes it.
Brett Mahoney still with a nicely framed head though. Sam's bowl sitting out on that side that little bit to know that he can land that for shot or trail the jack to his own.
I don't think it really changes his shot, Glenn, does it? He's similar to his first. He's just that foot through just to make sure he's 2 down, so he wants to make sure he arrives. And he's got a couple of bowls there to sit, or just turn that jack around the corner for 2 himself. He's under this. He's under this. He's lost his weight. Just lost his weight.
Purses his lips as he walks back to the mat. Frustrated with that one. Of course, we all know Brett is the high energy player he is. Gets plenty of time on the BVTV streaming.
It's such a mental game, isn't it? It's like he's just slipped through with his first, and he's tried to correct and just overcorrected with his last to try and tighten that grass line up a little bit and drop a little bit of weight, and he's probably taken 2 extra feet off.
Now, if Liv can draw another here, then that 3 shots after dropping the 4 comes straight back, and we're back to all square.
It's a very big shot, isn't it? Yep, very big shot. She's got a bit of room.
The psychology on the scoreboard being all square rather than 1 down.
She runs this.
Valuable.
Just going to be out of the count. It's a very good effort on the right side of the jack.
Measuring for the second.
Let's see what they do with this jack.
Yes, absolutely. We've just talked about it. Particularly now that we're really in that go time.
2. Game on.
Four ins to play, 1 in it. Round of 32 action at the Henselite Victorian Open. And this is what's going to happen throughout the rest of the tournament. Better teams progressing, more cutthroat, more nerves, feeling each other out, getting deeper and deeper into the event. And these games will become closer to match with that intensity.
Yes, the cream's coming to the top. It gets harder and harder. So, Matt's coming up. Where are we going with this jack? Down to the tee.
Similar length to what they've just played, but rather than the mat back.
Yeah, middle to middle. Middle to middle, okay.
Do you think that this is possibly an attempt at throwing the line of Andrea, given that she's changed hands a little bit, that mat movement, or...?
Well, I think it's a different length they've played in this direction from anything else, so it is a change, I guess, which is good. And they just need Sam to pepper this jack now. And he started off very well.
Instantly that security blanket that didn't exist last end in terms of having that bowl behind. So all it takes is one jack trail for that bowl to be in front again.
That's right, that's right.
Did anyone put the pressure on you to make a selection for who was going to win this before the game?
No, they didn't. They didn't, and I'm glad they didn't.
What are we doing here? Well, I guess that means I've got to put it on you now. We've got 4 ends to go, obviously one shot in it.
Yeah, listen, that's a great shot from Andrea there. I mean, you look at probably 2 key things. Liv's been on this green all week with, trialling with the Jackaroos, so she's had a really good look at this green. And then you look at Pidge, so either of those 2 can play some winning shots towards the money ends of this match, because the leads have just gone toe-to-toe, really. They've been sensational. They've got better and better as the game's gone on, and that's a perfect example right there with Sam and Andrea on the jack. So, mate, I can't call it. I honestly can't. I'm going to sit on the fence. Yeah, can't call it. That's well played. She didn't want to go anywhere near that. She's right on the jack. She doesn't need to disturb it. Past the jack's perfect.
It's one of those shots that you can play when you've got a 1-shot lead in a close game. Have a really good one and then just play the positions, force them to create.
Oh, that's a great shot by Sam too. He's just changed that, turned that bowl off the front of the jack. It's given Liv a really good opportunity here.
He's also created 2 hands for Liv now. She can turn Sam's bowl through Andrea's, or just spring Andrea's clean and move that jack towards Sam's on the other hand as well.
And Andrea can take this all away right now by drawing a toucher on the backhand.
Again, framed nicely. Sam's bowl just being off the centre line there. Knows that if they find that window...
She's just played one brilliant shot with the last bowl, and she's very close again. She's all over this. What a shot.
Bowl.
Oh, she just got a snippet of it. It looks like you've got to swallow the jack completely, and just got the edge of it.
With 2 bowls there now, I'd imagine it becomes a 4-hand shot for Liv now.
Definitely looks forehand, doesn't it? Yeah.
Can sit the shot bowl on the jack. If she is that little bit overweight, she may just draw inside that last bowl of Andrea's to cut it, or to have 2 really solid seconds.
Yeah, she's probably got 3 options as she turns through Sam, sits the shot bowl. Even if she sits the last bowl of Andrea's, leaves them in a really good position. Really tightens that head up, makes it harder for Pidge to make anything out of it.
Looks a good track. With this weight, it's a question of whether it's going to get down in time, though.
She's down. She's
Springs
played
it
a great shot.
brilliantly.
Fantastic bowl. Problem is, Pidge has got 3 goes at this.
3 goes and over a foot of room. The only question with that is everything on that side of the green goes back to the centre line. So
right.
Can you find a way to actually miss 18 inches, 2 feet wide of that centre line?
He may play inside out here.
That's
he is.
What he's shaping to do.
Yep. He has played this hand very well down this side. Forehand side, if he's got the weight. Just left it behind. He's probably, what do you think, just over a metre short there?
Yeah, beautiful line though. Certainly a good sider for him with 2 chances to correct. Sam just telling Liv, you pick it.
Big hello to Roger Green, watching from Seattle in USA, Jefferson Park Lawn Bowls Club. Thanks for tuning in.
Very fond of all of our international viewers that we get here. Spread far and wide. Looks a good weight here from Liv. Yeah, lovely bowl. And something else for pitch to consider now as well. He's obviously played inside out. Now he's got a jack high bowl on the other hand.
I'd say he'd probably just want to add to, yeah, he's stayed on that hand. He just wants to add on that line. He's a lot quicker. He's going to have to land something. He hasn't. Okay. Oh, maybe a lot of pressure on his last bowl.
Could be holding 3 right now. I don't think there's anything too much that needs covering, so you'd anticipate that Liv's just trying to add a 4th here.
I guess the biggest problem is that she doesn't want to fill that hole, so she doesn't want to make a big target here. If she can count and still leave the gaps, I think that would be perfect. There's a bare jack option there for 2. Probably only 2 if it goes right back, is it? Or is it
it'd
3
be
in
a
the
measure
corner?
on the 3rd with,
Yeah.
if it goes directly under the number, it'd be the bowl that goes with the jack, Brett Mahoney's last bowl, and possibly the blue that's on the centre line.
Yeah, so 2 in the ditch is probably worst case scenario. It's a tough shot. So yeah, I'd probably just be trying to add another one, similar bowl to her last.
Well, if she does that, she's comfortably in, lands on the outside, leaves
yeah.
holes there.
Just needs to leave that hole. That's the biggest thing. It just needs to leave that hole there. So,
what have you thought about the processes that Liv and Sam have gone through with their decision making across the game? Obviously, haven't played a lot of bowls together.
It looks really good. Yeah, I think they're thinking it through. They're talking. You know, they're communicating. Liv's definitely tight. But she's going to leave a hole once it turns. So, yeah, probably not where she was aiming to be. Her weight was absolutely perfect. And as you say, it's hard not to get back to the centre line on that side. So it would have been hard to be higher than that bowl, that jack high bowl of hers, the shot bowl. So really good shot. It turned out to be a really good shot. So Brett is under the pump here. He's 4 down. He likes the weight. He likes the weight. He'll raise the roof if he draws this.
Sitting there. Come on now.
And he's played a great shot. He might still be 1 down, but it's a lot better than 4.
Back to all square. 1 shot to Sam Rogers and Olivia Cartwright. 3 ends of action in round of 32 contest here at the Henselite Victorian Open. We're going to get some free bowls. We're going to get an extra end in there. Got to start having these discussions. Knockout competition must be a winner.
It's been tight all the way through. I wouldn't be surprised. So you put me on the spot. I've sat on the fence. What's your prediction?
I have to go with the office comrade, the fellow that sits on the desk opposite me day in and day out with Sammy. Completely biased, fully understand that. But he's been in a rich vein of form lately. Recently won the Northern Gateway Region Champion of Champions. He's through to the state championships in the pairs after winning that region event as well. As you've previously discussed, Liv having been here throughout the week with the training camp and trials. As much as Brett Mahoney loves a stream and performs, and he's coming off a premiership as of a couple of weeks ago, I think those are the things that'll matter more come crunch time with 3 ends to play and you must perform.
That's 2 great shots to set that up from Sam there. Andrea just needs to add a couple of feet on that wonderful line she had.
Certainly added that pace, but it's not going to hurt going around the back like that.
How many thirds?
15 ends played. So 12 completed, 3 to go for Jane Peterson in the comments on YouTube.
Oh, Sam, this is tremendous leading. There's 3 excellent lawn bowls.
Of course, a forced hand change now. Andrew been playing this side for the last few ends, so it'll be interesting to see how she responds with this.
Yeah, it's a tough shot on this side. She has to be up. But sort of wants to keep a bowl in that area at the same time, so.
Probably better off being tight here than wide. If she moves her own bowl off the centre line, then that obviously opens up a whole lot of options for Brett Mahoney.
She's just overplayed that one a little bit, understandably so. She was trying to be up. 3 down with Sam all over the jack. Tried to make a bit of a change there and just slipped through. So Brett's going to have his work cut out. I think Liv will probably try and get past here somewhere, I'd hope. Although she's on the forehand side.
Well, I think if she can get to Sam's bowls that are just past the jack and land one of those across, that'll go into that catching area.
The worst thing she can do here is turn Sam's bowl, but she hasn't done that.
Oh,
She
what
slipped
a
through
lovely
to a good spot.
position to finish.
Slipped through to a good spot. That might actually catch the jack too, does it? So, yeah, it's there anyway, so yeah, great shot.
At this point, Brett Mahoney would have to be thinking about playing that forehand, that nice and rewarding hand to get back and cut it down at 4 down.
Just a positive draw, isn't it, really? Yeah.
Game all square. Avoid the risk with only 3 ends to go of dropping that big number.
Hits the second shot, he goes close.
Just lacking a touch of pace. Sam Rogers calling for the same shot. Get there first. Good advice for anyone at home. Play the shot before your opponent can.
Liv's played a great shot here. That's a really good shot. That's made it very tough.
Spectacular rhythm.
Pidge has switched hands. He's on the backhand, trying to draw the shot.
Gets inside either of Liv's bowls. It'll be a very good second. It's not quite going to drop there. Still likely 4, not sure whether it's all 5 anymore.
Yeah, I think they're holding 5 here. They're holding 5. They've got a decision to make. They've got the 3 backward against them now, so Pidge hasn't had any success on the draw. It looks like a dead draw on the backhand. He's got to try and reduce that somehow, but knowing Pidge, would he try and pull something else out? If a jack rattles down through a hole here, you know, whether they've got to think about covering those 3 back bowls.
Yeah, I think that's... If I was playing the shot, and there's a reason I'm not, because I'm just not that good, I would certainly be trying to get between that pack of 3 there. Game all square, 3 ends to play. That's the way to avoid that risk of dropping a number.
And
You'd think if he covers that 3 at worst, they drop 2 shots.
Yep. And it's a really tough shot for Pidgeon to play, isn't it? Because he's got a foot to draw, you know, second shot. He's got about 3 inches to draw the shot, so it's a hard shot for him to play. So yeah, I wouldn't want to make the target or angles any bigger, you know, so, or give him another option. So it's definitely one they've got to have a good think about which they are. So that's good to see. And again, as you say, working together as a combo, They're having good communication here, talking through the shot. All the pros and cons, weighing it all up, which is great.
Staying on that forehand side.
Looks like she tried to draw another one, do you think, Glenn? I'm not sure. But
I think she just wanted to get past that blue bowl, I would guess.
You
She
know
was
what?
one roll away from clearing it and breaking up the 3 away bowls. Brett Mahoney playing the forehand here. Lies 5 down.
I'll tell you what,
Asking it to drop hard.
he's played a great shot here. That's a great shot.
What a save. Sam Rogers nods his head in appreciation for a
One down.
really
that's
strong bowl.
That is brilliant. Very, very good shot. A very strong end from Sam and Liv. And a fantastic save from Brett Mahoney.
And while mathematically it would have been otherwise, that realistically could have been game there. 5 down, 2 to play. It just completely changes the conversation about what you're trying to do.
Absolutely, yeah. And the game's been so tight that a number like that at this stage is going to be really hard to get back. So, no, tremendous bowl. Considering the fact that he played the forehand with his first bowl, switched to the backhand and then switched back to the forehand makes it even harder, you know. So, but he's a quality player and he just played that really, really well. Okay, so we've gone jack length, middle to middle again. Successful last end and a great start here from Andrea. And another good reply from Sam. Drawn these shot.
It's wonderful pace control, being able to get around that and just drop in. Looks to have added pace here, but if she's able to match that bowl of Sam's behind, it's a good way to balance that head up. I like that call from Liv. Changing Sam's hand, knowing that they've got a good one, but it's in a bit of a perilous spot. So play the shot before they do, tuck that jack away, hide it, change it.
Jeez, it was a good effort too. It's his first go on that hand going in this direction. That's a really good effort. Good shot, finish in a good spot.
Traralgon Bowls Club starting to fill up here. Some of the outside games finishing. More and more people watching.
It's a great crowd, isn't it? Really good.
Of course, we are disappointing for a lot of people that the reason that they're here is that they weren't so successful yesterday and came through, but good to see that they're coming down and supporting the host club and supporting club mates and friends that are still continuing on their Victorian Open journey. Of course, down here we've got the Henselite shop set up. We've got AM Sportswear with a whole lot of apparel options going on down at this Traralgon hub.
Got the coffee station outside, you've got the bistro inside, you've got the
absolutely
the bacon and egg rolls and the barbecue.
They are a
fantastic.
good bacon and egg roll too.
Now this is a huge shot here for Liv, so if she can get under this bowl and trail this jack, oh, it looks like she's crashed into it. Okay, not all bad. A little trail just under that bowl down to Sam's was big.
Yeah, hide it away. Pidge's got choices here. He can play that forehand still and land that bowl of Sam's between Jack and Andrea's, or he can play that backhand that everyone's been playing and play Andrea through Sam or trail that Jack.
Okay, and that was the intent. He lands these bowls. Oh, he's just slipped through the hole. Okay. I think it's
calling either side of her own.
Yeah, drawing either side. Yeah, good call. Very good call, Sam.
To be carrying a little bit of pace, but if she can match that bowl of Andrea's, that won't hurt at all. Once again, Brett Mahoney changing hands. His last 5 bowls have each been on alternating.
Tell you what, the last time he got down this side, he played an absolute cracker. He's just caught the bowl. He was all over that.
What he's done, though, is open it back up where Liv can try and play that trail again.
I think she really needs to consolidate here too. She needs to play a big one. She wasn't far away with the last, so draw the shot, tuck the jack around the corner. Just change it up. Don't give Pidge another option, another go at this. They're pretty well covered down the back. Pretty good mix down there, but if she can just turn this jack around the corner, it would make it really hard. How's she going? Fraction tight. Fraction tight. She's just under that line.
Lovely weight for the shot.
Perfect weight. Okay, options everywhere here.
I have a funny feeling that Brett Mahoney might go large at this. Known to do so. Can get Andrea's blue bowl through the black bowl of Sam Rogers. If Jack goes through the back, they do have the 2 deepest bowls on the rink.
He's probably looking to go wide enough that if he gets the jack, he'll get the back bowl of Sam's on the way through. If he gets Andrews perfectly under the shot bowl, as you say, 2 or 3, he's going to rumble down the backhand. Even if he gets his own bowl, the wider bowl, Nelly gets the shot, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those interesting decisions to talk about the weight that you play on a surface like this, because they can be in between that draw and drive zones, and those in-between shots can be that bit difficult to know when they're going to drop.
Here he goes.
He's given it the early call.
He's got the wide one, and that works, and that works. There it is. He's made 3 of that. At least 2, probably 3. So that wider bowl works. There we go. And it is. That's a 3. That's a big shot. Big result.
With that, another lean change. 1 end to play in round of 32 Victorian Open mixed pairs action. Winner of this progressing to the final 16.
That's a huge result in the position of this match, isn't it? So
absolutely.
He had options. I'd say he would have gone for the blue bowl. He would have went for the Andrea's bowl, but he misses either side of that. He either gets the jack or he gets the wide bowl, which he did. and got a maximum result of 3. Huge in the context of the match. Here we go.
Now in a place where the Rogers and Cartwright rink need 2 to force an extra end, 3 for the win. I mean, Andrea Tudorovic and Brett Mahoney can play a little bit of coverage and a defensive mindset for the end. Happy to drop one. That gets them the job done.
One really good one from Andrea here is going to make it really hard. One that really nails that jack right on the front of it. Would make things very difficult. This is the deepest we've had the jack in the match down this direction, and she has responded tremendously well. What a shot.
That works.
Brilliant shot. That certainly works. That will do. But Sam has been on a bit of a roll. He's been on a streak, and this is just as good.
He's going to get right the way down to the jack. What he has done.
That is brilliant.
And
that
turtles back in.
You can tell the money's on.
Yeah.
Everybody's standing up. They love it. This is what you're here for.
I've noticed a few times now, watching Andrea on the mat, her eyes are just locked in on
Steely focus, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Yeah. And you can tell, I think Tony mentioned before that she was a high-level badminton player. I don't know what level that was, but high level. So she's obviously got that focus, that concentration. And yeah, it looks very, very, very impressive to me.
When you see a lot of players nowadays who've got such fluid movements on the mat, that really long flowing action, I think of an Aaron Sheriff, a Corey Wedlock or something like that. It still shows that there is a place for those players that do lock in and go very robotic and as per the textbook, or the old textbook used to be.
Yeah, just that repeatable action, particularly under pressure. You know, she hasn't changed at all. She's stayed the same, which is a key to consistency. And this is another big shot for her. She adds 2 feet. Pidge has just asked just to arrive on this.
Of course, down that hand, she's got 3 options there really. Can get to the jack, can land Sam's bowl narrow, or if she does hang on that little bit wide, she can turn her own over through the jack as well. Pidge calls chance early on. Looks a very good line.
Oh, that's impressive. That is impressive. That is a very, very good shot.
Needing to make 2, Liv Cartwright walking just in front of the head. I have a funny feeling here she's questioning whether it's worthwhile Sam playing big weight at that bowl or the jack. Sam's last bowl only hanging onto the green by a couple of inches, so if you can put that jack in the ditch and follow when needing 2 for the extra ends, that'd be a huge result.
Yeah, I don't mind the aggressive shot. I think there's something in that. He can get bowl and end up with shot himself. Yeah. He's got a toucher that he can pump through to the ditch that will be waiting there for Liv as well. So yeah, there's a few options there. I don't mind that.
The biggest risk with it would be that Andrea's toucher that she's just played follows through as well. Playing the backhand side, searching weight.
Okay, so he must be able to see the jack clean down there.
Looks a reasonable line. If he misses under the front, he will go close.
Starting to turn, yeah. If he's going to get his own. He stayed on.
Keeps one on back there.
Stayed on, so don't think viewers at home can see that on the screen, but his bowls remain right on the edge of the ditch. So they have got the best backwood, a bowl waiting back there.
What are you playing here if you're Brett Mahoney? Having to cover, got a 2-shot lead to play with. What's your objective?
Yeah, I think he's just got to get between the jack and the ditch now. I think if he can land something back up there, just make it even harder, because you think Liv's got to get the shot, but she's also got to make 2. He's done exactly that. So he's landed between the jack and the ditch. So Liv's got a big decision to make here.
One underrated element of this this length, this end, is that jack's gone on the tee. First time going this direction, as you mentioned before, and makes it the hardest place to kill an end. Unless you're going to try and launch the jack over the top of the ditch. Unless you're going to launch it over the back of the ditch, you've only got 2 metres to try and slice the jack out of bounds sideways if you don't have that opportunity to make the 2 for the extra ends. Of course, this year, we've gone away from the respots at the Victorian Open, back to dead ends being replayed.
Okay, so decisions. I think whatever the decision is, whether she's going to attack or whether she's going to draw the shot, she's got to commit to it 100%. She's either got to draw 2 or she's got to attack now and hope for a really good result.
Hopefully she's already made that decision. Just walked back to the mat.
Okay, so it's looking to me like it's a backhand aggressive shot. She's going to go for this jack clean in the ditch by the looks of it.
She clears that front one. She opens up the other hand.
Right, okay. Well, I think it's all or nothing now. I think that's going to be the shot.
Admittedly, I've not seen a lot of weight played on the forehand side, but given how rewarding it is on the draw, I'm wondering whether that's possibly the better option through there. It looks like we can see on screen now that Andrea's bowl on that ditch side is that little bit shorter, and the window to get in there might just be a little bit bigger through there.
Yeah, it does look pretty inviting down there, doesn't it? Yeah. So Pigeons elect to play similar sort of shot. He's just trying to get in between the jack and the backwood, the very back bowl of Sam's.
Of course, the camera angle right now from Josh, our producer, has shown us Sam's bowl just hanging on top there. Gives us a nice image of what what Olivia's trying to play with Sam's bowl there to receive.
So Liv needs a bare jack here to split the bowls of Brett Mahoney's and run through with the jack.
Going bigger.
She's missed high. She's played that explosive shot and missed a line. And it is looking tough. There's a shot here that Brett could play. He could rip that back bowl out now. Okay, he's discussing about potentially a blocker. Either. I think either's fine.
One thing with this rink is, we've talked about it all game, this ditch hand being nice and easy to get back to the centre line. Playing a blocker, the hardest thing to get is that line right. So he can choose his weight and get rewarded from playing that hand and finish somewhere around the eye line.
I've never really been a huge fan of a blocker, but you know, sometimes they're effective.
He's certainly played blocker weight.
Yeah, he has too. Yes, yeah. Anyway, we'll see what Liv does.
And that line will certainly create something for Liv to think about. She's played 2 weights going in this direction so far. Played a full swing and then played a flat-out drive at it. So she does have recent memory of having played that swing weight.
Yeah, it's all or nothing again here. She needs this jack and needs it to rattle around the right spot and her toucher to go through with it.
Just putting the finger measure on to see whether that back bowl of Brett Mahoney's, how far it needs to move if she can get the black through the purple and hang around herself. Sorry, the blue through the purple and hang around herself. Because that's the other alternative option of getting 2 if you don't get all the way down to the jack.
She nearly needs the jack on the outside on the backhand, doesn't she, to get the angle to make sure that it gets down to that bowl of Sam's.
Even if she slices it out at between 4 and 5 o'clock as we look at it now, that may be enough to get the kill.
Yeah.
Of course, only got 2 metres to play with, but
it's
an
jack or
indoor
nothing,
carpet,
isn't it?
they can slide.
And there was the blocker. She was tight. And that's a win to Andrea and Brett.
Andrea Tudorovic and Brett Mahoney progressing through to the final 16 of the Henselite Victorian Open mixed pairs competition. Gary Willis, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been great and
being on for the stream.
Awesome event and great to be part of it.
Of course, thank you to our streaming partners Dandenong Club and Moama. With their support, we will be back at about 2:15 for a round of 16 matchup. And with that, have a good day.
In the UK, there's a bowl for every surface for the Henselite product. But overseas, I use the Tiger 2 and I use the Dreamline XG purely because I love the grip and the arc that the bowl takes, and that's what makes me one of the best players in the world.
The Traralgon Bowls Club. Amazing food for you and your family. Function rooms for celebrating with your friends. Corporate spaces for meetings and conferences. With special benefits for members, visit us today at the Traralgon Bowls Club. More than just a bowls club.
The Morwell Bowling Club is your place for fun and food. Come and try bowls and make new friends. Have coffee or bring the family for lunch or dinner. The Morwell Bowling Club. Visit us today on Hazelwood Road.
In the UK, there's a bowl for every surface for the Henselite product. But overseas, I use the Tiger 2 and I use the Dreamline XG purely because I love the grip and the arc that the bowl takes, and that's what makes me one of the best players in the world.
The Traralgon Bowls Club. Amazing food for you and your family. Function rooms for celebrating with your friends. Corporate spaces for meetings